Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai Om Shripad Paramahamsa Paripradhika Charja Ashtottara Satashi Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Jayādvaita Gadadhar, Shri Vahashari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath, Shama Kunda Radha Kundi Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Tham Ki Jai, Navadip Tham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Jamana Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande.
Jai Maharaj. Thank you, Mahesh Pandit Prabhu, for leading Kirtan. Welcome everyone to Srimad Bhagavatam class with His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami Maharaj. Today is Thursday, April 27th, 2023, and tonight we are reading in Adi Lila, 5th chapter, the glories of Lord Nityananda Balaram. We start tonight with text number 137. As always, we're looking forward to hearing everyone's comments and questions, so please use the raise hand feature or simply unmute yourself and speak when Maharaj asks for questions. Or you can type your comments into the chat window. We ask that you don't send any chat messages as Maharaj is reading something there. It makes it more difficult for him to read it. At the end of class, we'll post some helpful links that you can share with your friends so they can attend as well. And if anyone wants to lead the closing kirtan, send me a private chat. Maharaj, we're so glad that you could join us all the way from Radhadesh in Belgium. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Tulsi Priya. And thank you, Mahesh Pandit Prabhu. And thank you to all. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Apanake Britra Kori Krishna Prabhu Jani Krishner Kolar Kola Apanake Mane. Lord Balaram considers himself a servant and knows Krishna to be his master. Thus he regards himself as a fragment of his plenary portion. Risha Yamano Nardanto Yuyudhate Parasparam Anukritya Retire Jantuns Chedatu Prakrito Yata. Acting just like ordinary boys, they played like roaring bulls as they fought each other. They imitated the calls of various animals. Purport. This and the following quotation are from the Bhagavatam, 10.11.40 and 10.15.14. Kochit krida parishrantam kopot sango paparhanam swayam vrisha mayatyaryam padasambhahanadibhihi. Sometimes, when Lord Krishna's elder brother, Lord Balaram, felt tired after playing and lay his head on the lap of a cowherd boy, Lord Krishna served him by massaging his feet. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tathati Shapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha. Shri Rupam Shabrajatam Shahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savatutam Pradijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Shahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vashadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Just a technical note, Tulsi Priya, somehow Zoom is focusing you as the speaker with the green line around you and so on.
You're saying that I'm showing mainly in your window as the speaker?
Yes.
Because you're showing to me as the speaker. So maybe somehow I got pinned on your window or something. And you could unpin me.
Well, I don't know what the experience is for others.
Is everyone seeing Maharaj or me speaking as the main speaker?
We see Maharaj.
Good.
Okay.
All right. I'll shut off my camera anyways.
You're still highlighted in big letters, but that's all right. Let's carry on. The Apanake Brichakoti Krishna Prabhujani. The Lord Balaram is a plenary portion of Lord Krishna, and he thinks of himself as Krishna's servant. Brichakoti Krishna Prabhujani. He thinks of himself as Krishna's servant. So in the pastimes of Krishna, this is also service to fight with Krishna when the boys are playing like bowls and making roaring sounds. That's also devotional service. In the Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada mentions that someone is desiring to serve Krishna by assisting him in herding the transcendental cows in Vrindavan. So that's also service. That's also service in the spiritual world. So Lord Balaram thinks of himself as a servant, and sometimes Krishna himself massages the feet of Lord Balaram when Balaram is feeling tired and lying down. But still Lord Balaram thinks of himself as Krishna's servant. Keyamba kuta ayata daiviva naryuta suri prayo maya stume partur nanyame pi vimohini. Who is this mystic power, and where has she come from? Is she a demigod or a demoness? She must be the illusory energy of my master, Lord Krishna. For who else can bewilder me? Purport: the playful pastimes of the Lord caused suspicion in the mind of Lord Brahma. And therefore, Lord Brahma, to test Krishna's lordship, stole all the Lord's calves and cowherd boys with his own mystic power. Sri Krishna responded, however, by replacing all the calves and boys in the field. Lord Balaram's thoughts of astonishment at such wonderful retaliation are recorded in this verse, Bhagavatam 10, 13, 37. Yes, Yangri Pankaja Rajo Kila Loka Palar Mal Yuttamar Vritamupasata Tirtam Brahmabhavoham Apiyasya Kala Kalaya Shri Chodvahema Shri Ramasya Nripasanam Kwa. What is the value of a throne to Lord Krishna? The masters of the various planetary systems accept the dust of his lotus feet on their crowned heads. That dust makes the holy places sacred. And even Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lakshmi, and I myself, who are all portions of his plenary portion, eternally carry that dust on our heads. Purport. When the Kauravas, to flatter Baladev so that he would become their ally, spoke ill of Sri Krishna, Lord Baladev became angry and spoke this verse, Bhagavatam 10, 68, 37. The Kauravas arrested Samba after Samba kidnapped the daughter of Duryodhana. And so the Kauravas mounted an army to retrieve the boy and do battle with the Kauravas. But Lord Balaram had a favorable relationship with Duryodhana and the Kauravas. And so Lord Balaram went on a peace mission. Let me settle the matter. But when the Kauravas insulted Lord Krishna, spoke demeaningly of Lord Krishna, then Lord Balaram became angry. Who do you think Krishna is? You think that that he and the Yadus are existing by your mercy, that they're using the royal insignia because you allow them to do so. You're an illusion. I think that Krishna is on the same level as you. Well, even I'm just a plenary portion of Lord Krishna. Any comments or questions so far? Ekale Ishar Krishna Arshabritya Yare Yoiche Nachai Che Yoiche Kore Nritya. Lord Krishna alone is the supreme controller, and all others are his servants. They dance as he makes them do so. Srila Prabhupada gives no purport here, but he often quoted this verse, Ekala Ishwar Krishna, our Sabhritya. There's only one controller, one supreme controller, Ekala Ishwar Krishna. And everyone else, are Sabhritya. They're all servants of Krishna. This is the conclusion. The Ishvara Parama Krishna. So Ekala Ishvara Krishna. Finally, there's one supreme controller, supreme personality of Godhead, and everyone else is servant of Krishna. Prabhupada one time expressed this by saying, everybody Krishna Das. Everyone is a servant of Krishna. Anjare Yaiche Nachai She Toiche Kore Ritya. Everyone's dancing to his tune. Everyone's dancing as he makes them dance. So no purport here, but an important verse. Any questions or comments? E mata Caitanya Goshai Ekala Ekale Ishar Arshab Parishad Kehava Kinkar. Thus Lord Caitanya is also the only controller. All others are his associates or servants. Since there's only one controller, Krishna, and everyone else is servant of Krishna, and since Lord Caitanya is identical with Krishna, everyone else is his servant, and he's the supreme master. Guru Varga Nityananda Advaita Acharya Srivashadi Arjata Laghu Sham Arja. His elders, such as Lord Nityananda, Advaita Acharya, and Srivas Thakur, as well as his other devotees, whether his juniors, equals, or superiors, are all his associates who help him in his pastimes. Lord Gauranga fulfills his aims with their help. Even the supposed superiors of the Lord are servants of the Lord. Nanda Yashoda and the elderly people of Vrindavan appear as Krishna's seniors, but they're all in the mood of being Krishna's servants, and they are factually Krishna's servants. Similarly with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has his seniors, his spiritual master, his senior devotees like Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is their master. Advaita Acharya Nityananda Dvi Anga Dvi Jan La Prabhur Yata Kichu Anga. Sri Advaita Acharya and Srila Nityananda Prabhu, who are plenary parts of the Lord, are his principal associates. With these two, the Lord performs his pastimes in various ways. Advaita Acharya Goshai Shakshat Ishar Prabhu Guru Korimane Tihota Kinkar. Lord Advaita Acharya is directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Lord Caitanya accepts him as his preceptor, Advaita Acharya is a servant of the Lord. Purport: Lord Caitanya always offered respects to Advaita Prabhu as he would to his father, because Advaita was even older than his father. Yet Advaita Prabhu always considered himself a servant of Lord Caitanya. Sri Advaita Prabhu and Ishvara Puri, Lord Chaitanya's spiritual master, were both disciples of Madhavendra Puri, who was also the spiritual master of Nityananda Prabhu. Thus, Advaita Prabhu, as Lord Chaitanya's spiritual master, spiritual uncle, was always to be respected, because one should respect one's spiritual master's godbrothers as one respects one's spiritual master. Because of all these considerations, Sri Advaita Prabhu was superior to Lord Chaitanya. Yet Advaita Prabhu considered himself Lord Chaitanya's subordinate. For those of us from the West, it's helpful to remember that in Vedic culture, as in most ancient cultures, attention is given to hierarchy, to rank, to superiority and subordination. In the Bible, honor thy father and thy mother. The in any truly civilized and even many uncivilized cultures, there's always consideration of who's superior. And the seniors are offered respect. The Vaishnava culture is particular about this. It doesn't like disrespect shown to seniors. Even that, who was it? One Aparadi, godbrother of Madhavendra Puri. One Aparadi, godbrother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was also, no, I got it wrong. He was a godbrother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master, came to Puri and was criticizing the devotees for overeating. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even, he was criticizing. But Lord Chaitanya respected him. Yes, he's my spiritual master. Lord Chaitanya cut his own eating in half. Ramchandra Puri, yes, thank you very much. Ramchandra Puri. That was just offensive. But even though he was offensive, Lord Chaitanya, as a matter of etiquette, offered him respect and even took his criticism seriously. So, and that's even a negative example, but when the senior is exalted in behavior, how much respect is shown to the seniors. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always treated Advaita Charja and other seniors with great respect. But they all knew that they were servants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Any comments here? Acharya Gosai Tattva Najai Katan Krishna Avatari Jeho Tari La Bhuban. I cannot describe the truth of Advaita Acharya. He has delivered the entire world by making Lord Krishna descend. Nityananda Swarup Purve Aiya Lakshman Laghu Prata Aiya Kore Ramir Sevan. Lord Nityananda Swarup formerly appeared as Lakshman and served Lord Ramchandra as his younger brother. Purport. Among the sannyasis of the Shankara Sampradaya, there are different names for brahmacharis. Each sannyasi has some assistants, known as brahmacharis, who are called by different names according to the names of the sannyasi. Among such brahmacharis, there are 4 names: Swarup, Ananda, Prakash, and Chaitanya. Nityananda Prabhu maintained himself as a brahmachari. He never took sannyas. As a brahmachari, his name was Nityananda Swarup, and therefore the sannyasis under whom he was living must have been from the tirthas or ashrams of the Shankara Sampradaya, because one of the names of the assistant brahmachari of such a sannyasi is Swarup. Someplace in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada enumerates the various titles and names. In the Shankara Sampradaya, there are 10 names for sannyasis: ashram, tirtha, that Padati, Puri, 10 names for sannyasis. And according to the names or titles of the sannyasi, the brahmachari will have a particular title or name. So, since Nityananda is known as Nityananda Swarup, he must have been a brahmachari under a sannyasi from the with the name Tirtha or Ashram. Ramer Choditra Shab Duker Karon Chotantra Lilai Dukha Sahin Lakman. The activities of Lord Ram were full of suffering, but Lakshman, of his own accord, tolerated that suffering. Sheta Korite Nade Jate Chotapai Maunatari Rahe Lakman Mane Dukapai. As a younger brother, he could not stop Lord Ramchandra from his resolution, and so he remained silent, although unhappy in his mind. Krishna avatare jeshta hoila sevar koron Krishna ke karaila nana shuka ashwadam. When Lord Krishna appeared, Balaram became his elder brother to serve him to his heart's content and make him enjoy all sorts of happiness. Externally, it appears that Lord Ramchandra's pastimes are full of tribulation, and Lord Lakshman had to bear the tribulation of seeing Lord Ramchandra going through so much difficulty. But when Krishna appears as Krishna, then Lord Balaram enjoys assisting Krishna in so many joyful pastimes. Ram Lakshman Krishna Ramer Angsha Vishesh Avatar Kale Dohe Tohate Prabesh. Sri Ram and Sri Lakshman were plenary portions of Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, respectively, entered into them at the time of Krishna's and Balaram's appearance. Purport. With reference to the Vishnu Dharmottara, the Laghu Bhagavatamrita explains that Ram is an incarnation of Vasudeva, Lakshman is an incarnation of Sankarshan, Bharat is an incarnation of Pradumna, and Shatrughna is an incarnation of Aniruddha. The Padma Purana describes that Ramchandra is Narayan, and that Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna are respectively Shesha, Chakra, and Shankha, the conch shell in the hand of Narayan. In the Ram Gita of the Skanda Purana, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna have been described as the triple attendants of Lord Ram. So there are different statements in Shastra about the identity of Lord Ramchandra, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna, but the conclusion is that Lord Ram is Krishna himself, or the plenary portion of Krishna, and the others are portions of him. Here it's said that they all entered into Krishna and Balaram at the time of Krishna and Balaram's appearance. The idea is that Krishna and Balaram include all other incarnations. So when Krishna and Balaram appear, that means Ram and Lakshman are also appearing within them. Similarly, Narayan is appearing within Krishna. Sankarshan is appearing within Balaram, and so on. Now Saraswati says, Lakshman desired to be the elder brother in his next incarnation because he felt he may be in a position to offer advice, which he couldn't do as he was the younger brother. But Lord Balaram found that Krishna was still cleverly thwarting some of his plans, despite being the younger brother. For example, in the marriage of Subhadra. Yes, thank you for that. Angshala Jeshta Kanishta Bhiman Angshangshi Rupe Shastre Koreye Vyakyan. Krishna and Balaram present themselves as younger brother and elder brother, but in the scriptures they're described as the original Supreme Personality of Godhead and his expansion. So we have Leela and we have Tattva. We have the pastimes of the Lord, and then we have the underlying truth through which these pastimes are to be understood. Ramadi Murtishu Kalani Amena Trishtan Nanavataram Karod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Parama Pumanyo Govinnamadi Purusham Tamahang Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who by his various plenary portions appears in the world in different forms and incarnations, such as Lord Ram, but who personally appears in his supreme original form as Lord Krishna. This is a quotation from Brahma Samhita 5:39. Rama Adi Murti, in various forms, beginning from Lord Ramchandra. Lord Ramchandra is very prominent. Or Ramadi can mean from beginning with Lord Balaram, because Lord Balaram is the origin of all other incarnations. Sri Chaitanya Shri Krishna Nityananda Ram Nityananda Purna Kore Chaitanya Nerakam. Lord Chaitanya is the same, Lord Krishna, and Lord Nityananda is Lord Balaram. Lord Nityananda fulfills all of Lord Chaitanya's desires. Nityananda Mahima Shindu Anantapar Ekaha Sparshimatra She Kripa Tahar. The ocean of Lord Nityananda's glories is infinite and unfathomable. Only by his mercy can I touch even a drop of it. So here in these verses, the verses so far in this chapter, the author has described the exalted position of Lord Nityananda Prabhu as being identical with that of Lord Balaram. And so here he summarizes by saying that Lord Nityananda Prabhu's glories are limitless. Therefore, another name of Lord Balaram or Lord Nityananda, Ananta. Anta means having an end, and Ananta, endless. Anything so far? Hare Shrunotar Upar Mahima Adtama Jibere Chadaila Urdva Shima. Please listen to another glory of his mercy. He made a fallen living entity climb to the highest limit. Veda Guhya Kata E Ayogya Kahite Tatapi Kahiye Tar Kripa Prakashite. To disclose it is not proper, for it should be kept as confidential as the Vedas. Yet I shall speak of it to make his mercy known to all. Ula Supari Deko Tomar Prasad Nityananda Prabhu More Shama Aparar. O Lord Nityananda, I write of your mercy out of great exultation. Please forgive me for my offenses. So now Kaviraj Goswami will describe an important incident from his own life that also speaks to the glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He begins by saying that he really shouldn't write of it because it entails confidential topics, among other things, describing mercy bestowed upon him. So a Vaishnava is not eager to broadcast such things. He keeps them confidential. But overriding that concern, he writes, is the importance of glorifying Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So for that purpose, he's putting aside these other considerations and asking for forgiveness for whatever aparads that might entail. Avadhuta Goshaya Eka Britya Prema Dham Meena Keton Ramadash Hoitar Nam. Lord Nityananda Prabhu had a servant named Sri Meenaketana Ramdas, who was a reservoir of love. Amar alaye aho atra sankirtan ahate aila teho animantran. At my house there was some kirtan day and night, and therefore he visited there, having been invited. It appears from this verse that it was customary to have sankirtan going on day and night at the house of some householder. Householders would have a sankirtan program. Kirtan would go on day and night, and the Vaishnavas would be invited to take part. Maha prema moy tiho vashila angane shakala vaishnavtar ondila charan. Absorbed in emotional love, he sat in my courtyard, and all the Vaishnavas bowed at his feet. Maha prema moy, he was full of love of Krishna. Namaskar korite kar uparete chore preme kare bangshi mare kaha ke chapare. In a joyful mood of love of God, he sometimes climbed upon the shoulder of someone offering obeisances, and sometimes he struck others with his flute or mildly slapped them. So these were expressions of his joyful nature. Someone is respectfully offering obeisances, and he's climbing on the shoulder of that person, or mildly slapping someone with his flute. Hey, Baba, slapping him. So these were all signs of his loving nature. Ye noyane dekite ashru hoy manijar she netre avich chinna bahe ashrudhar. When someone saw the eyes of Minaketa and Ramdas, tears would automatically flow from his own eyes, for a constant shower of tears flowed from the eyes of Minaketa and Ramdas. Kabukon ange deki kulaka kodamba eka ange jaya tar ar ange kampa. Sometimes there were eruptions of ecstasy like kadamba flowers on some parts of his body. And sometimes one limb would be stunned while another would be trembling. Nityananda Bali Jabe Korin Unkar Pahadeki Loke Hoy Maha Chamatkar. Whenever he shouted aloud the name Nityananda, the people around him were filled with great wonder and astonishment. So he was not a quiet person just sitting in the courtyard. He was sometimes playing with the devotees, joking with them, but they could see that he was absorbed in ecstatic love for Krishna. And sometimes, being a servant of Nityananda Prabhu, he would loudly call out the name of Lord Nityananda. People would be astonished. Gunarnava Mishra Name Eka Bipra Arya Shri Murti Nikate Teho Kore Seva Karga. One respectable Brahmin named Sri Gunarnava Mishra was serving the deity. Angane Asiya Teho Na Koilav Shampash Bahadeki Krutaha Bole Ramadash. When Minaketana was seated in the yard, this Brahmin did not offer him respect. Seeing this, Sri Ramdas became angry and spoke. Nakoilo Shampash, it didn't even say anything to offer respect. Eta Dvitiya Shuta Roma Harshan Baladev Deki De Nakoilo Pratyukam. Here I find the second Roma Harshan Sutta, who did not stand to show honor when he saw Lord Balaram. Eta Bali Nachegai Koreye Santosh Krishna Karja Kore Vipra Na Kori Logo. After saying this, he danced and sang to his heart's content. But the Brahmin did not become angry, for he was then serving Lord Krishna. Purport: Minaketana Ramdas was a great devotee of Lord Nityananda. When he entered the house of Krishnadas Kaviraj, Gunarnava Mishra, the priest who was worshipping the deity installed in the house, did not receive him very well. A similar event occurred when Ramaharshan Sutta was speaking to the great assembly of sages at Naimisharanya. Lord Baladev entered that great assembly, but since Ramaharshan Sutta was on the Vyasasana, he did not get down to offer respect to Lord Baladev. The behavior of Gunarnava Mishra indicated that he had no great respect for Lord Nityananda. This idea was not at all palatable to Minaketana Ramdas. For this reason, the mentality of Minaketana Ramdas is never deprecated by devotees. the insult it was taken as an insult. Neglect is also a sign of insult. When Bhrigu Muni was testing the three deities, he insulted Lord Brahma by not offering him respect. So here also, Gunardhava Mishra offered no respect to Meena-Ketan Ramdas. Meena-Ketan Ramdas wasn't interested in respect for himself, but he could understand that the respect was withheld because Gunardhava Mishra didn't really have much regard for Nityananda Prabhu. And that was intolerable for Ramdas. Therefore, he said that this man's like a second Romaharshan Sutta. Romaharshan Sutta, being puffed up, thought that he didn't need to offer respect to Lord Balaram, although Lord Balaram was the original spiritual master. Similarly, Nityananda Prabhu is the original spiritual master, and Meena-Ketan Ramdas, therefore, made this remark about Gunardhava Mishra.
A question, Maharaj.
Yes.
Over here, Nityananda Prabhu didn't arrive. Only Meena-Ketan Ramadas was there.
Yes.
So, where is that respect for Nityananda Prabhu comes?
Well, the idea is that Meena-Ketan Ramdas was the servant of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So if Meena-Ketan Ramdas is disregarded as insignificant, it reflects disrespect for Nityananda Prabhu.
Oh, okay.
If the American ambassador to Germany attends some function and is not afforded proper respect, then the president of America takes it as an insult.
Got it.
It's
Thank
not
you.
that the president has to be there personally. If the ambassador, even the representative of the ambassador, someone from his office is treated negligently. In King Lear, there's one servant of the king who is treated negligently. Some lower person puts that servant in the stocks, form of restraint, punishment. And it was immediately taken as an insult to the king. It wasn't that the king wasn't there, but you're treating the servant of the king with such gross disrespect. That means you're insulting the king. So here also, disrespect to Meena-Ketan Ramdas means disrespect to Lord Nityananda.
Thank you.
Then there's a couple from Saraswati. I hope it's appropriate to ask. We understand that pure devotees do keep their glories and deep feelings of love for Krishna very confidential. So were there times when Srila Prabhupada, in some rare, unguarded moments, was not able to completely hide his feelings in his mission to fulfill Lord Chaitanya's desire? Yes, we hear this from time to time. I was just listening to a lecture, and Prabhupada mentioned something. The lectures are edited a little bit, so you don't hear how much time is going by. But Prabhupada said something, and then there was a silence. And it's clear from the context that Prabhupada just couldn't speak further. And then Prabhupada said, all right, have kirtan. that happened sometimes. I remember in Mayapur, it happened a couple of days in a row, 2 or 3 days in a row. Prabhupada had to end his lecture. One day he was speaking about how devotees had spent so much money to come from all over the world to the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. And he just stopped. And then someone began chanting Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada ended. So sometimes that was there. But Prabhupada didn't. And of course, Prabhupada would express ecstasy by chanting, by dancing. That's something we can all follow. But other confidential things we rarely spoke about or showed. Ruby Kunj says, what does the last line of the purport mean? For this reason, the mentality of Meena Caitanya Ramdas is never deprecated by devotees. Well, devotees might think ill of Ramdas, Meena Caitanya Ramdas, because he made an insulting remark about Gunardava Mishra. He took offense at Gunardava Mishra's neglect. So someone may say, well, that's not very good. You're supposed to be a Vaishnava, and you're insulted because someone didn't greet you, because someone didn't offer you respect. What is it? Amani na amanadena. We don't want respect. So why are you taking umbrage at this supposed neglect? That's why the issue comes up. And then it's explained that devotees who know what's what don't criticize don't criticize the mentality of Meena Caitanya Ramdas, because they know that it wasn't for his own concern, but it was for he understood that this disrespect shown to him reflected disrespect for Nityananda. So for that reason, it wasn't a sign of pride or inappropriate criticism. Tulsi Priya, I recall reading a pastime in which someone said they saw tears shooting out of Srila Prabhupada's eyes. Have you heard of this? Yes, I think maybe more incidents than one, but I recall that Rukmini Devi, who was the Pujari for Radha Govinda at that time in the 1970s, saw Srila Prabhupada come offering obeisances before Radha Govinda, and that tears shooting from his eyes means that they were that the tears came out so forcefully that other devotees were moistened by Prabhupada's tears. That's what I heard her say. All right, we can end our reading here. And after you're done, okay. Haridas Prabhu, would you like to lead Kirtan?
Yes, all right. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnupad Purnamamsa Padipad Jakacharya Stotra Sri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kun Radha Kundi Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Tham Ki Jai, Navdeep Tham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you to all. Thank you so much, Haridas Prabhu. Beautiful.
Jai. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Panchatattva Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you,
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Please share those class links with your friends, and I hope we see you all again tomorrow for Srimad Bhagavatam class with Maharaj. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai.
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 Premanande.
Hari Hari
Hari Hari
Bol.
Bol.